Okay, this is exercise 5B, question 13, the bearing of town Y and town Z from X. From town X, that's why the north sign is at town X, are 60 degrees true bearing and 330. So where am I going to put my 60? From X, what's 60? This? From X to Y. That bit there is 60. Got it? Now the other bit, the bearing of Z from X is 330. So from X, north sign, all the way round to there. So make sure, see how I've done it in different colours. From there to there, 60. The blue bit is 330. So what can you work out? This one, the dot. So I'm going to call the dot, what am I going to call it? Angle, I'll call it NXZ. Angle NXZ is north XZ. What's that angle? 30. How do you work it out? 360 minus 30 minus 330, which is 30. Angle sum at a point, I suppose. NXZ is, it's nearly 360 all the way round minus the 330, the little dot. Are we okay? So it's 360 minus 330. Is it angle ZXY equal to angle ZXN plus angle NXY, which is 30 plus 60, which is 90 degrees. That's how you show. You have to give reasons. Redrawing it. Sorry, it's a bit messy. That's Y, that's Z, that's X. It's a right angle. Put in the information you've got. And then work out what they asked you to find. That shouldn't be too hard now. X, Y. How do you work this out? Come on. 80 on tan 50, and then you can work it out. So 67.1 to whatever. They want it to the nearest kilometre. 67 kilometres to the nearest kilometre. Now you were given the bearing of Y from X and the bearing of Z from X. Can you give me the other bearings? I want the bearing of Z to X. I want to see if you can tell me the bearing of Z to X or the bearing of X from Z. Z to X. And the bearing of Y to X. See if you can tell me what they are. To X, I want this angle here. How am I going to find this angle here? If you just see what we've got, you already worked out that that was 30. Do you remember this? You could go, look. Actually, why don't you just do co-interior? Can you see it? These are north signs, girls. So the 30 is co-interior to this. Can you see it? So that's 150. So the bearing of Z to X, that direction, is 150 degrees. Okay? Now let's look at the other one. The bearing of Y to X, you put a north sign up. Now, because we were given the first one and it was 330, from what we did yesterday, 330 minus 180 is 150. Just as a quick check. Now the bearing of Y to X, so I need this bearing. From Y to X, put a north sign, go clockwise. What have you got? You know that this is 60, come back down. What else have you got down here? That's 60 in there. So what's the bearing? 180 plus 60, which is 240. Or, because you know the bearing of Y from X is 60, the bearing of X from Y is 60 plus 180 is 240.